he's now recommending drugs specifically by name. And whenever I see that, I always want to know if they're going to get money by recommending a drug. And he does talk about that as being a problem. So I think it would be very unlikely that he would be financially invested in these drugs. He's already disclosed the things that he was financially invested in before. So, and there's 5 or 6 drugs, so he'd have to be invested in all of them. But he believes in him. He believes in him. So that's also a consideration, is if you believe in something, you want to see it grow and not just get rich off of it. So, but I am a cynic. It's my Gen X, sorry. I tend to start with Crestor. I don't even know what that is. Rosuvastatin. And I pivot there if there's negative side effects. Nexletol is another one for people who can't tolerate statins. Another one called Zetia blocks absorption of cholesterol in the GI tract. That in turn depletes the amount of cholesterol in the liver, leading once again to increased LDR expression and greater clearance. And see, I don't understand that paragraph, because that seems to directly counter that eating cholesterol affects your cholesterol. So I think what I'm realizing right now is that you still have to eat cholesterol, but that cholesterol does not directly cause arteriosclerosis. The cholesterol goes into the liver, and because if you have more, your liver regulates how much it needs, right? Your liver regulates how much it needs, and it has to get that from the digestive tract. So saying the nutritional cholesterol that you consume has no bearing on your arterial cholesterol is true, but you still have to eat some. You still have to eat cholesterol, apparently. Your body can manufacture cholesterol, but as would be implied by this statement right here, there's a drug that blocks absorption of cholesterol in the GI tract, which means that some cholesterol, at least some amount of cholesterol, is coming from your intestines and it's going into your liver. It's not going into your blood, it's going into your liver. It's getting put in your liver. And then your liver production and how much it pumps out, I assume that's because the cholesterol is not in the LDL. I don't know what the reason is. But apparently, I would like to know more about this. I feel like I could research some more on this. But yeah, I mean, eating cholesterol does not cause high cholesterol, because your liver controls that, and it will just not produce it. The American guidelines say that and everything, but I don't understand where cholesterol comes from. They said that cholesterol is manufactured by the body, but now I'm also reading that cholesterol is drawn through the GI tract into the liver. So that would imply that cholesterol that you eat, it's not like all the cholesterol you eat gets pooped out. What he did say, though, is that most of the cholesterol you eat gets pooped out. So that must mean that your liver is like cherry picking the cholesterol it needs from your GI tract in order to keep its levels of cholesterol ready, at the ready for doing whatever it has to do. That's what I assume. I am not a professional by any means. Greater clearance of apo particles, which we go. Okay, so there are 3 or 4 drugs there. So that's the end of the chapter, and we're going to move on now. And guide for HC practitioners. Yeah, it'd be fun to look at. I don't trust any documents that do not include the recent studies that are more as recent as 2021. So this is just like anything. You can go out on the internet and you can find official documentation for stuff that's out of date. It has not been kept up, and so anything that's older than 2021, I'm going to be very skeptical of it, because that's when they started finding out. The American Heart Association finally said ApoB is something you need to start looking at more than cholesterol, and it took them until 2021 to actually say that. So there's probably a lot of documents, official documents, that are still, pushing the cholesterol, search for cholesterol agenda kind of thing. But thank you for the links and all that. So there we go. I don't know what else to say here other than I appreciate again what Peter's been doing. How is this affecting my plan? I've already said multiple times. I'm going to ask for an ApoB. I'm going to go for an Apo little b as well, at least one time to see if I've got the genetic problem. I'm going to get a CT angiogram, which will show both the calcified and the non-calcified deposits in my arteries currently, see if I have a problem. If my ApoB is high and I have lesions, then I'll consider taking statins. By the way, it's important to say that there's no reason for me at this moment to suspect that I have, brewing heart disease in my body, but I don't know. And the biggest takeaway from this chapter is that the reason that this is the number one killer of humans is because it's so sneaky. It's so sneaky, and it's really hard for us to lock it down. And the existing techniques for identifying whether it's a risk are broken. You don't want to know that your house got broken into after the door's been kicked in. And so the value of this chapter for me is that it has given us more scientific based methods of helping the existing medical system to identify these killers much earlier. So we can do that. And then we can combine that with knowledge from the last week and the week before that, where, a healthy diet that creates, that does not create insulin resistance. Insulin resistance or hypoinsulinemia is the number one killer that is leading to heart disease. Because by having insulinemia, your whole metabolic system is all out of whack, and your liver can't function because it's full of fat and can't even do its thing properly because it's completely horrible, right? I don't think it's a coincidence that he talked about hyperinsulinemia first, because if you could make a case that diabetes or the things that lead to type 2 diabetes are the same things that indirectly lead to all of the horsemen. And he pretty much made that correlation last week. So if you want to do something about it today, do the things necessary to stop your body from becoming insulin resistant. And that means, believe it or not, zone 2 training for to increase your metabolic health, lowering the bad fats and increasing the good fats in your consumption, and overall eating less. That was something we talked about last week too. And because all of those things you want to get rid of the visceral fat in your body, and the visceral fat that builds up in your liver makes your liver not work, and then your liver probably can't handle cholesterol production properly, so it ends up putting out the bad. I mean, who knows what, right? You want to take care of your liver. If you take care of your liver, your heart will be fine, unless you've got a genetic thing. I mean, really, I feel like that's the subtext. If you take care of your liver and your pancreas, which pumps the insulin out, if you take care of your liver and your pancreas, which you do through diet and exercise, then all your other organs are going to be fine, because they are going to be, your liver's taking, the other out of balance metabolic situations are not going to happen. You're going to have a healthy metabolic system, and that the short-term answer for that is, eat good foods, don't, eat too much and reduce your stress, and don't smoke, reduce your alcohol consumption, and then, do long, slow exercise for about an hour a day. This is there are some genetic things, but other than that, that's I really think that's going to be the answer. And eat like somebody who lives on that one island in Italy. What's the name of it? So good fats, and stuff like that. Now, look, I don't always follow all of that, but I think the single biggest thing I've done, and I'll end here, but I think the single biggest thing I've done to restore my health from last year has been doing something in zone 2, cardio zone 2, not power zone 2, cardio zone 2 activity that causes me to be happy and not stressed about my time every day. I ever since I've started doing it, whether it's yoga, whether it's yoga or it's going for a walk or it's going for a bike ride or it's dancing like a madman on at night on Twitch. Those are the things that increase the sleep, increase in sleep, so my body can heal because I'm old, and eat better. I still drink and stuff. I just don't drink it as much. I just cut that back, and I've been I've added eggs to my diet. I'm really 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 glad that they specifically mentioned the egg thing because as soon as I saw the cholesterol, I was like, oh, here we go. I eat 4 or 5 eggs a day, and I believe they're some of the best miracle food on the planet. I personally believe that. I believe because it just makes sense, right? These eggs have everything in them to produce life and maintain life. They have a lot of nutrients in them besides just protein and the cholesterol and stuff. So I have to, and they're very satisfying, and they fill you up and everything. I don't fry my eggs though. I would never ever fry my eggs. I think it's a horrible idea. I do soft boiled eggs, and that's all I eat. I don't eat a big piece of buttered toast with it. And I do take a multivitamin every day, and I have to take an allergy controlling pill because I have a dog. But anyway, that's all I have to say about that. So thank you for tuning into the podcast. If you have stuff to say, please put it in the comments of the YouTube video, or come on into our Discord, or just find me anytime I'm streaming, which is pretty much 8 hours a day, and we can talk, depending on what's going on. Thanks